what's up guys? It's Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche here. Alright, so as we get closer and closer to Christmas, I want to stress to everybody that we're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. If it happens by this Friday, it would be awesome, but we need to hit 2,000 subscribers so that way we can do this drawing. And originally what we were going to do was a single speed G2 with an MC and the Tackle Industries rod. However, none of our subscribers really are falling in love with the knowledge of the Raptors and stuff like that. So we are actually upgrading it. So originally it was a $500 rod and reel combo. Now it's a $700 rod and reel combo. But it's all on y'all. I need y'all's help. Share the page. Get your friends to subscribe. It's free. You don't have to pay anything to get in, but you do have to subscribe to the channel, and you know, maybe we can get them to start watching and share on the knowledge as well. And that's kind of where we're at. Now for today's video, with the big black drum coming through, yes, we've done videos where I show that using the fish bites has produced some big black drum. However, people are very in tune with wanting to use what everybody else is using. And a lot of these places too like to use live crab. Now, there's several ways to use live crab. We're going to show you a couple of different ways on how to hook them. The trick with using live crab though, for us, and like I said, not every way works for everybody, but for us, I like to use them about the 4-inch mark, and I also like to keep them alive. When you put a hook through something, normally if you hook it in the wrong place, it'll actually work against them and it'll kill them. The other thing is too, since they have a hard shell, trying to push the hook through, you normally crack the shell. So a lot of times these guys don't really care because they know they can push the hook through, break the shell and stuff like that. Or they'll peel the shell off and you know, and they hook it through. But for me, for us, it works better by keeping it alive and whole. Now if I get into the monsters like that, sometimes I'll just throw out a monster because I'm trying to go for the 1% fish. A lot of times that means that I'll go without bites. So that's going to be a judgment call on you and how you want to fish. If you were seeing everybody else is hitting, you know, the 30 to 40s and that's what you want to do, and you see them cutting up their bait and you want to get in on the fish, you can do that. Now there's times when I'm hitting the 50 inchers and say like the bull reds because I'm using a bit bigger bait, but I'm getting fewer in numbers on catches. So this, you got to kind of weigh your options of what you want to do. Okay, so today I've actually got 3 different types of hooks that we like to use. One is your kale hook. This will be your kale hook, is one of them. The other one is a regular O'Shaughnessy hook, which is a J hook right here. Alright, and our final hook is our normal circle hook that we like to use. We either use the black series or the nickel colored series. And we're still doing a long drop or a short drop 3-way redfish rig. Okay, and the reason for it is because 1, am I fishing on the jetties, or 2, boat, you know, all the variables that I showed in the last video of how to use the redfish rigs. There's 3 different types of leaders. We still have the 100-pound mono, we have the 135 cable, and we have the 200-pound mono. We make them with all 3 types of hooks and all 3 types of settings, but also too with the cable we do it in the 135 and the 250 because it just all depends how many times you're going to use a leader. So if you're going to be using it a lot more, then you're going to go with the thicker cable rather than the thinner one. If you're going to do it a few times a month or once every couple of months, then you can use the lighter one and be just fine. But if you're going to be out there 2 or 3 times a weekend, every weekend for the next whole month, then I would highly recommend going with like the 200-pound mono one and or the 250-pound coated cable. Everything with the leaders is always dependent on the use you intend on getting out of it. Obviously with the lighter cables and the lighter monofilaments, you're not going to get the crazy amount of use that you would if you stepped up. But at the same time too, you got to realize that a lot of times when you step up, you're getting away from the slot size. The smaller size fish will tend to hit on the thinner size cable and mono. If you're going for the big uglies, they just don't care. They're going to eat everything along the way. So that's kind of a little food for thought when you're going to choose the leader, and also too, try a few different hooks. I mean, because a lot of times, like I said, for us, I will do the same. There's going to be time periods when I want to try a different thing, but I'm more partial to the Kale hook or the circle hook. Those two hooks are the ones I really prefer on that. Now, I've seen guys go out there and they catch fish galore on J hooks, but it's, you know, it's just a personal choice. I keep away from those. I'm less likely to gut hook a fish with these two rather than this one. So that's a little food for thought as well. It was a short little rundown of what style of hooks to use for when you're going for your big black drum and stuff like that. Normally on the circle hooks, I'll do 7/0, 8/0, and 9/0. On my Kale hooks, I'll use 5/0 or bigger. And the reason being is because, man, these are some big old fish. They got some big old mouths. So when you're using these live crab and even live sea lice, you want a little bit bigger gap, and it's a lot easier to handle, especially when it's real cold and you have your gloves on, so it'll be easier to handle and get your hooks out of the fish. And same thing with your J hook. So J hooks, I'll do the same thing. I'll start at 5/0 and go up from there. I really don't like the smaller ones because you'll tend to put a lot of pressure on pulling these fish out from the deep water, and in doing that you end up bending out your hooks. So to ensure you don't really lose any fish, go with a little bit bigger size so that you can put a little bit more drag on the fish to pull them in, and this will ensure that when you go to release them, they're not going to sit there for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes trying to revive, you know, and swim off. You really don't want these fish to die on you. You want to catch them at a later date. So again, 2,000 subscribers is what we're looking for. As soon as we get that, we are going to be hooking y'all up. Thank you again for everything, and please keep the comments coming. We do appreciate everybody's patience with us, because again, you know, I know a lot of the videos I was chopping the top end of my head off and stuff like that. So, but I do appreciate y'all watching and bearing with me. Again, we'll see you on the next one.